What's going on, guys? Welcome back to For the Fans. We're here to talk about the Big Brother Week 3 HoH episode. I'm here with CJ and Chantae. What's going on, guys?
What up?
Hi.
Guys, we're here. We're in the age. We're in the era of one of the most entertaining HOHs I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Um, Miss Felicia's the HOH.
And a good thing she's bald.
Right? She'd be washing her hair all the time.
Okay. Be like, where's Miss Felicia? She's still washing her hair. Like, I don't think they thought that through for us black ladies. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I know. That was the first thing I said to my wife. I said, "Good thing she shaved her head because she'd be pissed."
Yep.
It was the snotiverse, you know what I'm saying? The Humiliverse. I hate these verses, especially because we already know that the comic verse is only going to be used for 1 week.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the scary verse and the Humiliverse and what's
The snotiverse.
that was the third one?
The scramble verse.
The scramble verse. We're going to get those like repeatedly, and then the 1 week for BB Comics, we're going to get all week comic verse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then back to other things from the other. And now, Chantae, I know you don't know about BB Comics. BB Comics is one of the staples of Big Brother, where they have given each of the house guests a comic book character, and it's like a comic book cover page. And then there's usually a competition that's attached to it. It's a lot of fun. It's every year, and the comic is is always something that has happened to them or with them in the house.
Mm-hmm.
This past week, when Miss Felicia broke her mic, Cerise said that her comic, you better stop before her comic is like the mic destroyer or something like that. And so it's gonna be a picture of her destroying microphones.
That is the only thing that it can be.
Actually, she could be like the snot fairy or something like that. After
there's that. She also like asks people point blank, what are your plans for what alliances are you in? Like she's asked people point blank. That could be something about that.
Her. Right. I don't know why that keeps working.
It could be something like that. Like it'll be something that's apropos to what's going on to that person in their house or what has happened to them. Last season, there was a guy who definitely was getting it in with another girl, Alyssa Snyder from she's on the challenge.
Yeah, she's on the challenge.
Kyle, and reportedly the first time they had sex in the house, he lasted about 6 seconds. And so I forgot what his comic was, but in the little corner it said "here and gone in less than 6 seconds." Was obviously a nod to what had happened.
Messed up. Especially there are cameras everywhere, and they recorded how shitty that is.
Yeah. He was in and out in 6 seconds. It was great.
He was Rep Kyle.
Yeah.
Like reptile.
Yeah. And
pull this up.
So he had a little it's a nice comic book cover too, and then they usually release it to like EW, and everyone gets a comic book cover unless you're like removed from the house. So I don't think Paloma had one last season, and Luke will probably not have one this season. We're gonna just pretend like Luke wasn't, like, not us, but the show's gonna pretend like Luke was never a part of the cast, and that's kind of like how that goes. Let me see here. Let me see if I can help pull this up real fast. See the BB Comics.
Reptile.
I got it. Got it right.
It. Crimes about to suffer reptile dysfunction. That's messed up.
Reptile dysfunction. There you go.
Oh, man. That is so shady.
Like Taylor ate a lot of potato chips, but She got a little sponsorship. And everyone that tried to come for her ended up going. So it's a potato chip, you see, stuff like that. So it's they're nice comic book covers that we see. It's fun. It's a fun little thing right there.
And
So
it's also fun because it's a little bit physical, a lot mental. So anyone can win.
Anyone can win. There's usually mostly anyone can win. It is a major physical component.
Yeah.
Because they're like hang gliding on the thing.
On a zip line.
Yeah. But you got to put the things in order. That's usually what they have to do. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love me some BB Comics. And unfortunately, we're going to probably only get it for 1 week. But in the meantime, though, let's get into the last night's episode, right? Because it's not to get too far ahead of ourselves. It was quite the booger. So starting off, we get the fallout from what happens with the bye bye bitches, and they got rid of Riley, and Heisem was excited because he got his thing done. Now Heisem's excited is still very stoic, but I'm very excited about what has happened here today, and I'm happy that everything went according to plan. And then it's like, oh, that's his excited face. Yeah.
Well, his excited is going everything planned because you guys did what I told you to.
Yes.
I tell you to
down the law.
How excited do I need to be? You know what I mean?
You couldn't show too much excitement because you end up getting a unanimous vote, which is fine. Chantae, what did you think about the unanimous vote?
I have to be honest, I was shocked, especially when Jag went in there and said Riley, but I was like, oh, they clearly have talked and Heisem's in trouble. Because when you have Matt going in, when you have Jag going in, when you have Blue going in, and they all say Riley, I'm like, oh, okay. They have made a decision and Heisem's in trouble. So I will say at first I was like, what? And I was like, oh, everyone? Okay. They have banded together. Heisem's out. Another unanimous decision's going to come. And I'm excited to see how they make it work because I feel like now we're starting to get into the real like gameplay, the real like backdoor deals and like the side hustles. Because before I feel like it was a little too straightforward. So I'm excited to see how Suri kind of makes this come to fruition.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy to me Riley didn't even get a pity vote. Like,
no,
pity votes are a staple of the show where, you like someone, and Riley seemed to be very liked in the house. She couldn't get one pity vote.
I think it's tough because I feel like pity votes happen less often nowadays because everyone knows what's going down, and you don't want to become a target, if you will, of like the person that's staying. I'm playing this Big Brother game like right now, like literally right now, this Big Brother online game. And this first vote, we just did it earlier today. And it was a unanimous for this girl to go. And it should have been unanimous. But then there's one dude that I know voted for her to stay. And now I'm concerned that the dude that stayed is going to be like, that dude's against me. But in reality, the other girl asked him, he's like, sure, man, why not? And that was like a pity vote. But like, you don't want to be seen as like, not even going against the house, if you will, but you don't want to be seen as going against that person. The last thing I need, heaven forbid, if I'm someone that voted to save Riley, last thing I need is for Cameron to win HoH.
Right.
I guess that's true, yeah.
And then he said, you CJ were coming for me. You weren't coming, like you, Matt was coming for me. Matt wasn't coming for him.
Yeah.
Matt had a deep connection to Riley.
That's kind of the Heisem issue, right? Like, oh, you said my name, so obviously you're coming for me. Like, I probably said everybody's name up in here. Like, I think that's the biggest thing for me. There is no rhyme or reason to why he felt so targeted by Riley. Even his little goodbye to her, which I was like, that was mad disrespectful. Like, I'm sorry you put us against each other. It's like, she didn't do that. You did that. Like,
correct.
Like, I'm like done with him. I need them to get him out. I don't care how they do it. Like, just go.
Well, it's funny because like I don't even know when this started really happening in Big Brother throughout my years of watching it, but I don't know when it became so necessary to need a reason of
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah.
stuff.
This is a
Like,
game. You gotta go. Bye.
so we had to vote in this online game that we just did. This one girl, she's dope. Her name is Jemima, black girl named Jemima. She literally she on her vote. My vote. I just said I vote to kick out Vanessa or whatever, and I said, and then yeah, bye. She said I vote to kick out the evict Vanessa because I don't need a reason. I'm grown, and then she she cut off the thing. I was like, that is the energy we need in the Big Brother house. I don't need a reason to go for you. I'm an adult. I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, I have
No.
for someone. I chose you. Bye.
Yeah, and then the same thing with like, why are you targeting me? Because I don't think you're good for my game, bro.
Yeah.
Why don't you think you're good for my game? Because you're not.
Target somebody.
I gotta pick
Somebody's
somebody.
gotta go.
Somebody
Yeah.
gotta go. Heisem going in, you winning everything. Obviously, you gotta go so that I have a chance to win something. Like
Cool.
that's not. But like the fact that I don't know, and I think in his head he created this whole narrative about how he was like the champion or the hero, and he's doing the right thing to get big bad Riley out. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Riley's the bad guy in this? I mean, how?
I was
How does
so I was like, I like that math ain't mathing for me, and the story you're trying to sell is not selling.
Yeah,
No buttons
math's
buying.
not math, and story's not selling. I wasn't feeling it, but I was a little surprised to get sympathy votes, especially because as we see now in this episode, Matt is crying.
Mm-hmm.
My guy
Matt was
is
crying.
like,
Blue was crying.
yeah, y'all
Jag
care
was
about this
upset.
girl, and there's nothing wrong with caring. That's perfectly fine for y'all to care about her. That's dope.
Yeah.
Why didn't y'all just give her those votes?
Just give her the votes.
That's what I said.
Gonna get sent home. Like,
No, but I gotta talk to Cameron first. I gotta talk to Cameron and let him know. Listen, this is not a vote against you, but this is a vote for Riley. I know that she's still going home. Like I get that.
Going home, but I need to let her know that I am. Still
I care about her.
I care about her, and I wanted her to stay. Not because I wanted her to go, because
correct. And
You
I would have
Riley,
also
it can't be unanimous.
Yeah.
And also, I would also.
Cameron would have been like, whatever, you know.
I also would have spun it a little bit and said, "This is a vote against Heisem and his dictatorship. That's what this is not a vote for you. It's against Heisem. I want you to know that. And I know you're staying, and I want us to keep working together.
Yeah.
But I can't let her go home with nobody voting for her, knowing that we didn't get the votes. But like, I do care about her.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially like I said, when you got Matt crying, and now it's interesting because Matt's crying, and we see Blue talking to him, and now he told her he had feelings, he had a crush on her, he had some feelings. But I feel like this is much more than that. What'd you say?
I said, was Jack sitting right there? Oh, no.
Well, I think it's more than that, though, right? He said that she was the only one that like understood him and like would talk to him like on the level he needs.
Right.
Sat down and had one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, he said that several times. He's like, she's the only one who made me comfortable here. She's the first one who made me feel safe. Like she was his person, and now he's really feeling alone, even with his alliance. Like no one else is gonna do that for him like she did.
Well, right. And also not to jump too far ahead, but you see it later in the episode when he's talking to Suri and Izzy, and he's talking about how he struggles to hang out in groups. Like he needs to have that one-on-one conversation because when there's multiple people having multiple conversations, it's overwhelming to him. So it must be extremely difficult for him to connect in the house when there's people flying around, having whisper campaigns.
Right. Whispering in corners.
It's interesting because he said before that like while he's there in the house, when they're having group conversations, he just nods, but he doesn't hear most of the stuff happening because everyone's talking too much and he can't hear everything happening. And so Riley used to go and then like break it down for him.
Down with him, yeah. And who's going to do that now? Is anyone in his alliance going to step up and do that?
Yeah, he has people that have stepped up because he's made it clear. And that's one thing I think has been pretty cool watching Matt is that he knows his own situation. So he's been able to communicate to them. Now, not everyone has listened, but he's been able to communicate what he needs. So people like Izzy, people like Suri, people like Blue have like taken the time out to listen a little closer and then talk to him, make sure they're facing him and talk to him one on one so he knows what's going on. But Riley did that already. Like she cared enough about him to connect and do that already.
Right.
So after that, we
brother just is not taking care of him. Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
They have not really.
Not at all.
I don't think we got you off after last week's veto episode. What did you think of the hearing competition with the deaf guy?
That was I was like, did you put him in here? Because not only is it you have to hear, but now it's going backwards and forwards. So I was like, I don't know, like how's this gonna go? But maybe because it was right over his ear and everything, because he seemed to do okay in that competition.
Editing, Chantae, and editing.
It actually makes me wonder because a lot of times on those time competitions, they show all of the scores and they only showed the top 3 scores this time. I wonder if he did so poorly, they didn't want to put him on blast.
Right.
That's my, are they even putting him on blast or are they putting themselves on blast?
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
no,
obviously
that's
it's not
a
fault of him.
Yeah.
But like, if he's at 30 minutes and everyone else is under 5,
right?
Like, it makes him look bad, but it ain't his fault. He put a deaf dude in a hearing competition.
Yeah.
That's wild, right?
Like, I don't know. It seemed like, like you said, editing, but I was like, maybe because it's right over the ear, right over the hearing aid, it helped, but maybe that was just more interference. I don't know. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no, not again. They did this to him.
It's tough. It was a tough watch.
Yeah.
The moment that they put the headphones on, I was like, oh. This is what we're doing.
No.
I want to see them next do a colors competition with the blind guy. I want to see how that goes. Like, I want to see how that goes. Decipher the colors. I can't see
the picture and find
And it's funny because they probably didn't think anything of it because like Survivor in the fall with Noelle with one leg, like she can do everything everyone else can do. She just has to do it a different kind of way.
Right.
Hearing is not the same.
No.
They could have adapted this a different kind of way for him, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I also think like the difference with Noelle and this type of situation is that I think the casting and the challenge people, I think Jeff is over all of this stuff.
For Survivor,
Jeff is an executive producer for Survivor. So I think when Jeff is in the room for casting, he's in there for finals, he knows that there's going to be a person that has one leg, right? So then I think when Jeff goes to the dream team and Matt Van Wagenen and he's talking to them, he's like, oh, we also have Noelle who has one leg. So we need to make sure that everything can be done by her. Whereas in this situation, Julie obviously is not involved in the casting.
No.
Julie's barely involved in the show. So
she's barely involved in the hosting, but
yes.
She shows up on Thursdays and reads some cue cards and goes home.
But like I say, I don't fault Julie because she just shows up and reads.
Right.
The people creating these challenges are at fault. CBS,
I don't think
the whole thing is.
I don't think Jesse Tannenbaum, who's in charge of casting for Survivor, Big Brother, and Amazing Race, I don't think he has anything to do with the production part of Big Brother. And that's the reason that's important, is because if there's no like final person over here coming to over here to say, by the way, we got a guy that can't hear, we need to make sure everything can work for him. Someone definitely gave them the memo.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were like, okay. That was it.
Like at this point, especially after how many mishaps they've had, they should be like, okay, let's take a second to look through this and figure out. Like, it's not hard. They got too much money for them to not be able to get this done.
I agree. It's insane, but it's where we're at. it's where we're at.
That's what I thought. It's like, oh no, they did.
So So we have let's get to the HOH competition because this is a fun one. So Chantae, I know you're new to this thing, and this is why Big Brother's fantastic as a game because we have this competition where there's just rows of numbers. Think of Plinko, think of
Go
the
shuffleboard.
wall.
I mean, this is why Felicia run. It's shuffleboard. That's a senior's game. Win. Like,
So,
come on. If
but it's not even
was
like
right and shuffleboard mixed together, it was made for her.
it's luck because, like Kev said, it's Plinko.
yeah, and it is not exactly luck. It takes a little bit of skill. And I say that because if you notice that the 20s are over here and we got single digit numbers over here and the big numbers in the middle, I got to figure out. I don't know what the physics are going to be. None of us do. We don't like we're looking at it. We're going to do my best to try to get it in this area. Yeah, it can shank and go across, but I know that I'm not hitting it off the sideboard to try to get in the 50s in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And so Miss Felicia just goes for the gusto. And we got some 40s from Izzy and Jared, but in the end of the day, it was Felicia who comes out as the HOH winner.
With a 53.
Out of 50, what, 5? 54, 55?
53 out of 55.
Huge number.
Like I said,
huge number.
It was meant for her.
My favorite part about this thing is when Izzy was in the lead. Hisam's like, I'm feeling real good about this because Izzy is going to go for the people that we need. So we're going to be okay. Then Miss Felicia gets these like, I am excited. I am going to be sitting here chilling. I know that I'm never going to see the block. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm good to go.
Yeah, he thought he was going to sleep through this week. Just hang out.
Yep. Had the week off.
And everyone else is like, damn, he don't even know. And I'm very excited to see this blind side. I am so very excited. I hope they pull it off. I need the right person to get this veto. Like, this has got to happen.
Yep. So when Miss Felicia wins, we find out since it's the Humuliverse week, even though I didn't realize this was a Humuliverse competition to begin with, I didn't see what was humiliating about hitting the thing.
Shit up it's stupid. It's stupid.
Well, as it was the Humuliverse, there was these two giant nostrils that was above them, and they had to stand there and get snotted on for a 24-hour span. Chantae, I know that you've been watching this for the first season. Mm-hmm. How about the shenanigans of getting snot on you?
It's so stupid. It made me think about OG Nickelodeon. Remember,
yes.
like
slimes and stuff.
Yep. Slimes and what is it? You can't do that on television or whatever it's called. Yeah. I don't know. But it just made me think of that. But
what would you do? I think it was called What Would You Do?
Yep.
There was a What Would You Do, but there was an older one. Okay, I'm aging myself. Where, you know, if you said certain words, if you said like no or something, then you get the slime or you get the water and everything.
Okay.
And so, I think it was called You Can't. I need to look it up. I'll look it up, and all the old people who are watching are telling me it's this, and I'm going to forget. But and you would just sit there, and if you said, oh, you said I don't know, you would get the slime, or if you said something else, you would get the water. And it just made me think of that, and I was like, I feel nostalgic, but I also feel like this is extremely stupid.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
I would be so mad if I was HOH. I'd be like, I don't want to be HOH anymore. Someone else have it.
I'm the head of house.
I defer.
To be humiliated.
Well, you got to get this gunk poured on you, and then she gets to pick a person to go with her every time, right? Do you guys think they did it enough times that everybody got to go?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because they would have. I think they would have shown everyone. Yeah. If not everyone, I think they would have shown like if it happened to Suri, if it happened to Hisam, like people who would have had something to say.
I think that we did see Hisam. We did not see Suri, which means I feel like they did it just enough times for Suri not to have to do it. That's how I feel about it. I feel like
we didn't see America do it. I don't think
we saw Bowie was the first one.
Yeah.
I know we saw
Izzy.
Izzy. I know we saw Corey.
We saw Jared.
We saw Blue.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Matt. Okay, I gotta ask you guys a question about this. How do you guys feel about them having Izzy openly thirst for Matt like every episode?
She's fluid. That's how she rolls.
Is she fluid?
I don't know that she is.
She said in a previous. Well, she said in a previous diary room that she's 99% gay, but
That's
the
not
1%.
That's not fluid. That's not
fluid for Matt.
If a block of ice was 99% frozen, it's frozen.
That's not because it's 1% that's fluid.
The reason I say this is because we're not getting any Izzy content on the show. But the only time she's on the show, they have her talking about Matt when she's openly gay, and she has a committed partner.
Right.
And I don't love that.
Yeah. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I'm saying that a lot this episode. Stupid.
But it's dumb. It's really dumb because it's like we know that she's not interested in Matt like romantically. She thinks he's a handsome guy. That's fine. We heard it the first time. I don't need you to continually hit that nail and only use Izzy for that. Izzy's running around doing a lot of crazy shit, and we're seeing none of it. Yeah. None of it. But the only time we want to have a confessional with her is when you have her talking about some dude.
But is the crazy shit that Izzy's doing, is it consequential to the game?
Yes.
Because I think she's just carrying out Cerie's marching orders.
They're not Cerie's marching orders. They're her crazy hijinks.
I will say the only time we see Izzy is if she's talking about Matt or as if Cerie has to calm her down because she's getting, so I don't know.
And even when they calm her down, they don't give Izzy a confessional. We get a confessional from Cerie.
That's true.
And then the only confessional we got from Izzy is her saying how hot Matt is. And it's like, okay, bro, like that's not like she finds him attractive. Cool, but she doesn't like
I feel like she probably only said it once, but they just keep playing it over.
No, even worse. I think that what's even worse, they call in the diary room, and she's like, "So what are we talking about, guys?" And they're like, "So what y'all think about? What you think about Matt when he has the snot on him?" I mean, it's pretty attractive. Perfect. She's like, "Anything else?" All right, Izzy, thanks. Have a good day. She's like, "Don't want to talk to me about any of this stuff going on?" No, we're okay. We got everything we need. Thanks, Izzy. We'll see you later. We got everything we need. But oh well, I guess I won't be on this episode. So Miss Felicia gets her knobs. She gets her HoH room.
Right.
We see her just get to work and start asking everybody what she's gonna do here, trying to get some information. The plan currently is a backdoor heist, which is a fantastic plan.
And I hope they stick with it. Like I feel like hopefully Heisem is annoying enough that people remember, oh yeah, we don't like this dude. Because like I am very excited about this. And I don't want them to disappoint me. And I don't want them to decide last minute, oh, no, he's in our alliance. We'll keep him, especially with all the fucked up shit he said last week.
It's so interesting
because you saw Heisem when he talks to Felicia about who should go up, he steamrolls her there. Like she's asking, trying to have a conversation, and he's just telling her what to do.
I want this, do what I want. It's like, when did you, what?
So. It's not a do what I want. It's a we should do this. We should do this. We should do this.
Yeah, but the tone is do this because I said so.
Yep.
Facts. And so his plan is to put up Matt and Cameron.
Jag.
Matt and Jag.
Yeah.
So he just wants to decimate that side. Matt, Jag, and Blue. He just wants to get rid of that side. One thing they didn't show in the episode, which I thought was glorious, was that Cerie goes up there and she asks Miss Felicia She said, "Hey, this is your HoH. You can run it however you want." And then, we're very happy for you. And then she's like, "Oh no, but I want your input." And Suri says, "Good." So let me. And she sits there. She's like, "I was just waiting for the invitation."
Yes.
So
she had enough respect to wait for the invitation.
Well, so Izzy and Suri suggest putting up Cameron because Cameron's going to be the block star, the pawn star this season,
right?
And they want to put someone up next to him. Now, the theory is if you put up Jag, you could use Blue as a backdoor maybe later, or you could do something else. But the plan is to go for a Heisem because we want to reduce the opportunities for Heisem to play.
Mm-hmm.
Chantae, that is called a backdoor. I don't know if you knew that terminology.
Yes, I picked up on that. Yes.
Yeah. So the backdoor is so that way, for those that don't know,
put him up ahead of time because he's going to fight the whole time to get off.
Well, not just that. If you're up on the block, you're guaranteed to play in the veto.
Right.
If you are not on the block,
he doesn't get it. So take him off the block. Let other people play,
mm-hmm.
and everyone agrees, no matter what.
Everyone in on the plan knows that the goal is to take someone down and
mm-hmm.
then put up the person you want to send home. You're taking them out the back door instead of the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's called a backdoor plan.
Right.
So the plan is a backdoor Heisem, but they want Heisem to feel comfortable just in case he gets picked to play in the veto competition.
Right.
So they're going to use 2 pawns so they can send him out the back door. So originally Cameron's the pitch. When Cameron comes up there, he sits down with Felicia and she's like, "So we're going to put you up." He's like, "Well, I thought there was a possibility I could be used more than once, but I didn't think it was going to happen, but there was a chance that it could have been 2 times in a row. I see it now. Not that I wanted to, but I'm willing to do whatever the team needs."
Well, I love we wanted to put you up because we think you're a strong competitor, so you have a chance to take yourself down.
Yeah.
What has Cameron won? What makes him a strong competitor?
His ego, he believes what they're telling him, so he'll go, "Oh yeah, you're right, okay." Like,
you're gassing him up so that he's not mad that he's sitting there, because if the back door doesn't work for whatever reason, oops, he went home.
Yeah,
so sad.
I think because 1, he thinks he's part of their alliance, and 2, last week it was perfectly clear he was going nowhere, that he is like, okay, fine. And like, he might be thinking, just like last week, no one was going to vote for me. This, I don't think he knew how close people really were to be like, let's get rid of Cameron, So
I don't even think that he didn't know how close they were, right? I think Cameron, in his own mind, he's playing a completely different game than he's playing. And I don't mean like a different game as in playing Survivor versus Big Brother. He knows he's playing Big Brother, but he has a different viewpoint of who and where he's at in the game than what is happening in the game.
It kind of reminds me of Pooch last season, where he thinks he's running the house, but he's on the bottom. And the only difference is Pooch wasn't on the block multiple times. It was just, we put him up and he's gone. Cameron should know he's on the bottom, yet he thinks he's being used as a pawn to take out these strong players.
Yes. He thinks he's being used as a tool. And of course, you're going to sit me next to them because obviously I could try to win the veto because I'm gunning for it. And I'm going to fight hard and I'm going to go get it. It's like, all right, man.
Well, he's a contingency. He's like, well, if you don't get Heisem, we get Cameron. Either way, we're good.
Yep. Miss Felicia feels like getting Heisem out during her HoH is a good move for her. And I think so too. It's definitely a huge move. It's a move that can go on her resume, especially with her doing it as a back door. At the end of the day, when you're voting for people, you're going to still vote for the people you like at the end of the day. But that is definitely a step in the right direction, a feather in your cap. You can say, I got out what we thought was the biggest competitor at the time. I was the one that backdoored him. And it's true. It's true. I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
I just don't know if you can start building your resume this early in the
game. Yes and no. The reason I say yes and no is because later moves matter more.
Yep.
But unlike Survivor, so like in Survivor, you have 2 tribes or 3 tribes, right? On our tribe over here, it doesn't matter when we get to the merge if we give it to Chantae today because none of them knew Chantae. It doesn't fucking matter. And Big Brother, we're all in the house together. So even when we get to jury, everyone's going to remember Hisam.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a major move. It's going to be remember that you helped orchestrate that perfect back door of your own alliance member early.
Yeah.
And like B Bean says here in the chat, when else would you get a clean shot at Hisam? And that's what this is, right? So
you never know.
He'll never be able. He's not prepared for it. He's not expecting it. He said himself, he's I'm just going to chill this week. It's like
I'm taking a week off.
Calm down, chill down, so we can get to the hell out.
Yes.
Based off of last night's episode, I think he just spent every day flexing in front of the mirror. That's all he was doing.
Well, I mean, even they didn't show it in the episode, but they discussed if he were to win, if he were to play in the HoH, they were already working on convincing him that he doesn't need to win this one. Mm-hmm. That he's too big of a target. And as you heard him say in the episode, that I hope I don't get picked for the veto because it's time for someone else to get blood on their hands. Mm-hmm. They're trying to like help him deflate the concern and the ego. So they're doing a great job.
Yeah. And he thinks they're like, oh no, we don't want a target on your back. But really it's like, oh, we already packed your bags for you, hon.
It's fun because we get that conversation from Hisam. Then we get everyone getting snotted. So we were asking earlier, I have here Blue. We saw Blue get some snot on her. Izzy, Jared, Jag did it in the middle of the night. I thought that was amazing because when Miss Felicia's like, when it happens to me, everyone's got to wake up. I didn't realize everybody had to go out and watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you knew the 3 o'clock in the morning one was coming because, like, a lot of these humiliation ones, same thing with like the unitard, with the sandwiches, all that. They always get you in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. You had to assume that she was going to get one when the nomination ceremony happened. Like,
so that was so.
It's going to be at inconvenient times
when she starts the nomination ceremony. To skip ahead a little bit, and they start the sound. She's like, "I'm not doing this nomination ceremony with the snot," and Blue's like, "Yeah, you are." Yes, you are. Like that's why they do it when they do it. They don't ever like you said, CJ. It makes it as inconvenient for you as possible. So yeah, when you're about to do something, you're gonna go have to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it like when you're pulling food out of the microwave, like right when they got her when she got right out of the shower, like right after you brush your teeth in the morning. The worst times possible.
The dirtiest one was after she took the shower. That's the dirtiest one. Because you just watched her take a shower to get this shit off her,
and then you make it.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the most fucked up one. You know what I'm saying? Because you just watch, like she just took a shower, she's chatting, and then the moment she got done, she put her clothes on, and hit the button. Yeah, hit the button. Make her do it again. Make her do it again because it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh man!
So we get her doing that. Then we have her talk to Jag. Jag is not happy about being a pawn, and I respect the hell out of it because he knows his position in this game, and he knows that it might be a little juicy to take him out. Mm-hmm. So he does not want to be a pawn, as he should never want to be.
Right. It makes more sense for him to be up there because otherwise, Hisam will be like, "Why?" It would look suspicious.
Correct. Yep. Correct. Jag knows that pawns are getting in trouble and could go home this game, and he's not just a pawn. I mean, once again, not in the episode. When Miss Felicia was talking to Bowie about the plan, she said, "You're gonna put up Cameron as pawn," and she said, "Yeah," and Jag as a pawn too. She said, "Nah, Jag might go home." And it's true. Hisam wins. Keep it the same.
Sorry,
Jag's the one going out the door. Like she said, nah, Jag might go home.
That's, you do the risks.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting how they are managing Bowie. Like Bowie seems the closest to Cameron and Red and all those, and they kind of let her know a little bit, but not enough for her to actually impact anything.
I mean, she's a floater. So is Cameron. So is Red. They're there to be numbers, but they're going to be the first ones cut.
Yeah.
Well, especially in my opinion, man, Red's going to get himself in more trouble the more he hangs out with Cameron, because Cameron is the pawn, the one that we want to go home though. Like it's
bendable.
He's and a lot of times pawns are people that are like not disliked. Pawns are usually people that are like not great for you strategically, and they could accidentally go home. Cameron, and he doesn't get it, but Cameron is a backup option.
Yeah,
you're not a pawn, my friend. You're a backup option.
Security. You're like, you know, he goes, I'm not upset.
Yes, like, yes.
Oops, Cameron went home. Oops, Jag went home. Like, no one cares.
No one cares.
Sheree went home. That can't happen.
Right.
And that's why it's crazy, because like being here in the chat, being says pawns are always expendable. And while that's true, usually it's like I said, it's like a mistake. It's not someone that's like really in your group. Cameron there is a possibility that in this conversation today, we may still decide to send Cameron home. Like that's how that goes. Like
no, it's like it's not going. Hyson's it's not going to work. All right, Cameron, bye.
yes. Hyson wins the veto, takes down Jag. She puts up Blue. Cameron's like, oh, Blue's going home. No, Cameron. Sorry, honey. It's not like a pawn accidentally went home.
Right.
You were the backup option.
Yeah. If you win the veto, cool. If you don't, cool. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, and my guy, if you don't win or Red doesn't win, you're probably going to be back up there next week. We're going to look at other stuff.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't work out, you're the backup option.
I think he's the wild card. Like Hyson went off the rails. I feel like Cameron could too. If he got power, like Cameron would fuck shit up. So yeah, like there's a reason why they keep going. Maybe Cameron needs to go too.
Yeah. And so Jag though has very sense of like, hey, I don't love this, but it kind of makes sense for like what the global plan is.
Yeah.
Not loving being on the block though, but I get it. I get it. So,
well, the worst part about being on the block also is that you're in a negative position on the back doors, because it's really hard to create a new alliance when you're sitting on the block. Like you're trying to count on people to save you, and they may not want to piss off the HoH.
True.
It's an interesting situation. But next up, we got our little. I don't know. So Chantae, this show loves them a showmans.
Yes,
they've had quite a few successful. They've had more successful couples than The Bachelor at this point.
Well, let's be honest. The Bachelor is not set up for successful couples. That's not
true.
The Bachelor.
It is not, and this show isn't either. But the reason that it has, I mean, we were in the house together for.
Like there ain't nobody else
there. Yeah. Y'all there together for 24 hours. You really get to know somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know when they say when couples move in together, that's when you like really know about each other. When you have to live with each other for 50 days and can't see nobody else but each other.
Yeah.
You really get to know each other.
Really know about each other.
And we've had some successful couples, Jess and Cody, Swaggy and Bailey, which is even crazier because Swaggy and Bailey only was there together for 14 days or so. They got married, had a baby. Crazy.
Jordan and Jeff.
Jeff and Jordan, Brendan and Rachel. There's been quite a few successful couples, Danny and Dominic. With that being the case, this season, I'm sure the showmans they wanted was Matt and Riley.
Yes. Or Jag and Riley. I feel like there were so many options.
They were like, Jag and Riley's an option. Kirsten and Matt. I think that they wanted that to happen, maybe pop off. Kirsten was feeling Matt.
She got sent home too soon.
But they are getting they are getting Blue and Cherry.
Which, well, for him to have so much going on, was this the smartest move, Jerry? I mean, you got too many secrets for you to be having a showmance.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Now he got another secret.
And he talks too much.
He talks too
And
much.
he talks too much, yes.
And so here he is with Blue hanging out, and they're just spending a lot of time together. You know, I love the fact that Blue had this one curl in the front of her head.
Oh, I love that. Went into that confessional with the curler, and I was like, what? I feel that. That's my energy. Like I'd be like, you know, I was busy. I'm not taking this out. What do you want? Like,
exactly.
That. In.
I love it. And so we get a little montage talking about their situation ship. In the spoilers, I have a lot more to talk about this, and so you're going to hear a lot more about these two. But we get a little bit of it in the episode. It was nice. It was nice in the episode. The spoiler stuff is not going to be nice, but this is nice.
I mean, I'm here for the spoilers, Kev.
We're gonna get to it. Before we got to the spoilers, though, after Jag has agreed to be a pawn, we get a beautiful scene where Matt is talking to Izzy and Sheree about his disability, and I mean, Sheree realizes that in her own experiences, she doesn't know a lot of deaf people. In my own experiences, I know a few deaf people, but not tons. But it's seeing and hearing how they view the world is just such an interesting, how the world views them and how they view the world that they're in. It's just an interesting situation. The three of us, we are African-American people. We view the world differently than others. The world views us differently than others. But seeing this dude has an 8-pack. You know what I'm saying? He's an Olympian.
12-pack.
He has a 12-pack. He is a swimmer. He would think he has everything going, but he talks about his own insecurities and how he didn't want to believe that he was deaf. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to believe it and didn't want to accept it. And it makes you feel for him.
Definitely.
It's interesting because he's also very self-aware in the sense that, like, he knows that he struggles to hear, and he knows that he comes across a certain way where people might think he's, aloof, or even more negatively, they think he's a douchebag because he's ignoring them. He's like, no, I just literally can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm trying to be nice and I'm trying to be present, but like, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And I think also when you add all that in, he's an athlete, he's good looking, he should have everything going for him. People make an assumption that when they don't assume he has a disability. And I think it's hard for when you're deaf because it's not apparent, right? You can't, with a blind person, there are things that let you know they're blind. With someone who's maybe an amputee, there are things. When you're deaf, you can't really find out until you get to that communication point. And by then you've made a whole bunch of assumptions about people. And so I can see why it's been kind of difficult for him, especially to connect with other people.
And as Jackie said here in the chat, he's also exceptionally articulate for someone from the deaf community. They have a completely different way of speaking and understanding each other. And even the way he speaks, I still understand everything he's saying. Yeah. And the way he's able to mimic things is pretty remarkable. Matt's an extremely good representation and is helping others learn. And he says in the house that him being deaf has made him more compassionate and allows him to connect with others better. And I thought that was just such a remarkable thing to hear and see. So I'm glad that they kept that part in the episode. I'm glad that they aired that because it was cool to hear someone else's viewpoints on these things.
Yep.
So finally, Miss Felicia settles on her nominees. She's gonna pick Cameron and Jag up.
Surprise!
That gives him the best shot to get Heistem. So we go to the nomination ceremony, and as you said, she gets to go get snotted one more time. So she picks Corey, and they go out there and they get snotted on, and everybody's like, "Oh yay!" And then they're like, "Your punishment's over."
It's over.
So she goes back. Everybody's happy. She picks them to go on the block, and then her reasons are, "Court is adjourned."
Yeah, it was great. But how great would it have been if she picked someone who was going on the block?
Yeah.
To get snotted. So now they have to sit there covered in snot on the block.
And they're on the block.
Yeah.
She's not cool.
So her ultimate goal is to still backdoor Hisam. That's what we're doing here. Hisam is still none the wiser. It's going to be a wild, wild veto episode, and after the veto episode, before the eviction.
Mm-hmm.
The thing being asked in the chat, is this Chantae's first Big Brother season? It is.
Where have you been? I feel like we've said this.
Bean just have been here to hear that. Yeah, it is Chantae's first Big Brother season. So her watching and catching up. She's a challenge fan, so she needed to come scout some of these people coming into the show. She wants to know where they came from.
That's going to be on the next challenge.
Can
I don't know if he is.
I hope.
Oh, because he's doing the Olympics. Maybe not because he's doing the Olympics.
Well, I don't know that. I don't want Johnny yelling at him. I don't want Johnny making fun of him. I don't want anyone to disrupt poor Matt. Matt's a very nice person.
Yeah,
I'll say I think he's actually too nice to go on the challenge. I think a lot of those people are there because they're instigators. And I think Matt would just kind of be a wallflower that's there to do physical competition.
Not to get off topic, but why do they keep putting Amanda on? She is useless.
Amanda's fantastic because she's fantastic television. Amanda's the best television.
She's just there to be an idiot, and everyone blames her for everything because they know how.
We'll get into a challenge rant post show, but I do want to ask you, Chantae, as a challenge fan, who from this season do you want to see on the challenge? Who's going to be great on the challenge?
Toxic people, high school on challenge.
You're breaking up. I don't know for me. CJ, is she breaking up for you?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Your face is doing like at this.
My
now you're stuck like this.
Oh my gosh.
She's going full Amanda down there.
Okay, I'm gonna say it whether you hear or not. Hisam will be on the challenge. I think they'll give Kirsten a chance to redeem herself on the challenge. They'll probably get Easy on there because she's annoying and will get on people's nerves. Jared will probably do the challenge.
Jared will definitely do the challenge.
Jared is waiting.
I can't think. Maybe America, but she seems so chill and like logical, so maybe not.
I think I need America to go on the challenge so that I can see her next to Alyssa.
They're the same person.
The same person.
They're the same person. They're the same person. It was a copy paste, change the hair. That's what you did.
Jackie said in the chat, Tori's amazing. I disagree.
I love Tori too.
I love Tori.
Horrible.
I think that people that are made for the challenge from this season, we're going to see Riley.
Yep.
We're going to see Blue.
Yep.
I don't think we see Jag. I see Jag is probably on Traders or something like that.
I could see that.
I think we see Jarrett for sure on the challenge. I think
because he needs to prove himself so that he's not just, I only made it this far because my mom. He's like, well, my mom won't be here on the challenge. I'm going to show you. Blah,
yeah.
Blah.
Mm-hmm.
I did love the fact that Miss Felicia told us that the reason she wouldn't be on the challenge is because she can't do heights, which was great. Yeah, that's what she said on the feeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Miss Felicia.
If Corey goes far, I would love to see him on the challenge. I don't think he would necessarily go on there, but I could see like him and his brother do an amazing race.
Yeah, I can see
amazing.
They're making that angle. That's the angle. Zach and Corey.
Yeah. If Corey does well,
Corey, the amazing race life of Zach and Corey.
Yeah,
that'll be a great show.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
That's the people that I think. I think they're going to ask Matt. I hope Matt says no. The MTV cannot And if he does it, I hope it's the Challenge USA and they have some CBS people in there because MTV cannot handle a deaf person. They just can't. I have zero faith in them and the Challenge production team to keep him safe. So I just have zero faith in them. And I've been watching the Challenge since like 2000.
I agree. No offense. Like that, you're like, yeah, you're right. I was just like, he's an athlete, he's an Olympic swimmer, but yeah, MTV don't give a shit.
Yeah. They're not going to be able to protect him. So with that, the plans of backdoor Heisem. Corey and Jag are on the block. Thank you for joining us. If you're taking off now, it's been a real pleasure. We will be back on the Thursday after the episode, and if we're not here Thursday after the episode because of scheduling conflicts, we'll be here Friday to discuss what happened in the veto competition and in the elimination, eviction.
Elimination situation.
The eviction situation. So you can find, and make sure you subscribe. If you made this far, subscribe. Join us. Subscribe. So when we get to 250 subscribers, we'll be giving away a golden Power of Veto sign by James Ryan. So we would love to see that. Love to see it. Also, you can follow Chantae on Instagram at the villain Chantae.
It is there.
Yep. You can find CJ on X and or Instagram at the keyboard sarcasm. And you can find me at KG Fury, where I be tweeting about stuff. So join us if you're doing that. If you're not, stick around. We would love to tell you about these spoilers. We're going to give you guys about 10 seconds. Good night to those that are leaving. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Always happy when they leave. Always happy when they leave.
All right. So, Chantae.
All right.
We're here. It's here. It is time to figure out
spoilers.
B Bean says in the chat that we need some spoiler music and visual effects. It's true. I don't have spoilers. Like
spoilers. We gotta up this production value. Okay.
We'll do what we can. We'll see what we can do.
I'm gonna make a sign just be like
spoilers section. So
and that Nickelodeon show, it was you can't do that on television. And if you say I don't know, you get the slime. If you say water, you get the water. So I just aged myself. I don't care. I used to watch that all the time.
What year did it come out?
Oh, shut up. It came out in 1979.
Jesus.
Nickelodeon existed then?
I am not that old. Still on later.
Like that Don Cheeto came out. Damn.
Kevin Hart's a Don Cheeto.
Damn.
I'm not that old. It still was on later when I was old enough to watch it. Whatever.
Okay. So Heisem is a planned backdoor, right? All we have to do is not have Heisem play in the veto. Veto players get picked. The veto players do not have Heisem playing in the veto. The back door is set to go through.
Hey.
But wait.
There's more.
There's more. Of course, as you just celebrated, this seems so easy. Almost too easy. Because you know how this house is. So, Jag wins the veto.
Okay.
Jag is taking himself down.
Good.
A few weeks ago, not even a few weeks ago, last week, when Corey was talking to Suri and Jared and Izzy about having an alliance, Corey jokingly said that there's a group that he's in called the Middlemen with Red, Bowie, and Cameron and himself, because we're all playing the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke. Suri has been trying to figure out why Mimi has not told her about the Middlemen. Because the Middlemen don't exist. And Suri, for the last few days since Felicia's been HoH, has been trying to figure out when Mimi's going to come tell her about the Middlemen alliance that she's in.
Oh, no.
No, you don't know. Suri's in there going full Ray J. Gotta get to the
bottom of this. And so, thanks, B-Bean. The players were Corey, Izzy, and Red, along with Felicia, Cameron, and Jag. So no Heisem. Jag wins the HOH, so wins the veto. The reason that this is important is because once Jag takes himself down, before he takes himself down, they're like, wait a minute. Jag and Blue, along with Cameron, Bowie, America's also in the middleman, by the way, in this scenario, as long with Mimi, they're the other prevailing alliance. If we take out Heisem, we won't have the numbers anymore. We should be looking at the middlemen because Mimi's not giving us any information. So obviously she cares more about the middlemen than us.
But she's in the bye-bye bitches.
She isn't. Because it's going to be bye-bye bitch because she cares about the middlemen because she still hasn't told us about the middlemen. And how is she not told us about the middlemen? So the plan becomes we need to get out Red. They count the votes. They realize they don't have enough votes to get out Red. So they change the votes. They're like, you know who we need to get out? We got to get out. Let's go for Bowie then. They count the votes. They realize they don't have the votes to get out Bowie. Okay. Know who we need to get out? We need to get out America. We need to get out of America. Because America's in the middleman. No one's going to care if America goes. It's going to be chill. It'll be chill. And then Corey might care, but they're like, we'll talk about Corey. We'll talk to Corey. So we have the votes to get out America. Bowie walks in. They're like, Bowie, if we didn't take out Heisem because we're going to be losing one of our numbers, what do you think we should do? And she says, we could probably go for like America. Like nobody's going to care about that. Like, and they're like, America, great idea. And then like Cerie's like, I don't think Bowie's middleman. I don't think
like because there is no fucking middleman.
Cool. I don't think she's cool. I don't think she's
real quick.
Wait, unless she's being a triple agent and she's
so they say what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for America, right? And Mimi is definitely in the middleman. Mimi's out of our group. We're gonna do a new group. We're gonna bring in Jag and Blue because obviously they are not in the middleman. Because the middleman is who we need to worry about. The middleman is who we need to worry about. So we need to go for them. And they're like, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going for America. We need to bring in Jared. We need to bring in Corey. Let them know plans change. America's going up. And my favorite part about all of this is that every time they bring up a new name, Miss Felicia got something negative to say about that person. She's cool with it. Like, yeah, America. Yeah, man, fuck her. Yeah, fuck her. You know, fuck her. Fuck America. She don't talk to me anyway. We can definitely put her up. Red, you know, with his long ass beard, fuck him. We can put him up. It don't matter. He's expendable.
No
yeah, Bowie. I don't like that accent. It's cool. We can put her ass up. Bowie's in here now. Oh, okay. Bowie's good. America. Fuck that name too. Like we're gonna put up America. Cool. We good to go. They bring in Corey and Jared. And they're like, so we know that there's another alliance going on and we need to take care of that. So Heisem is no longer the
Corey supposedly in that alliance?
Yes. But Corey's the one that told them about the alliance, so he's cool.
Yeah, because obviously it's not his primary alliance.
Correct, because he told us about
outing his alliance. But he can do this without getting any blood on his hands because someone else is taking out his alliance.
Like, what the fuck?
So Corey goes in there with Izzy. Izzy's like, "This is what we're doing. We're not doing Heisem. Squash that plan. We are doing America." And America, as you know, is very close to Corey. So Corey's like, "Don't love this plan. Explain this one to me." And they're like, "Middleman alliance, blah blah blah." Then Corey goes, "So here's the thing. Everyone knows about the Heisem plan. So what's going to stop any of them from telling Heisem about the Heisem plan if Heisem's still here?"
Right.
And then Felicia's like, figured that one out already. What we're going to do is tell Heisem that we told Jag and Blue and them that we were going to do this to see. It was a test to see if they would tell you. And now you know about it. So caught them. Test proven. Can't trust them. We were all lying.
They're trying to be Littlefinger.
Corey's like, cool. That's probably not a great plan, So let's think of something else. Because it should still be Heisem. Now, mind you, Jared knew about this going ahead, so he went and told Corey that they're talking about America preemptively. So they worked out a plan. So they come in there, and then as they're pitching America, Corey's hitting them with the facts on why not to do that. Jared starts jumping in there, and he's like, this is not a good idea. We should probably stick on Heisem. There's a separate conversation that's had between Corey, Jared, Izzy, Felicia, and Suri. They're like, we really, really, really need to stay on this Heisem thing. They're like, okay, you know what? Maybe too many people knew about it. Maybe we could bring it back. Then we could worry about Red and Cameron next. Correct. Let's figure that out. Corey, Izzy, Felicia leave the room. This is all Saturday night, right after. This is all that night that right after Jag has won. Suri hangs back, and it's just Suri and Jared in the room. And she says, do you really want to do Heisem? And he's like, yeah, Heisem said my name. So I want to do Heisem. And she says, all right, we won't switch it again. It's Heisem. And then they like shout out their family and stuff. They say hey to their family, and then Suri leaves. That was the only moment that I said, all this craziness. I like how there's like a lot of things. It reminds me of the MCU, right? Because like the MCU got these TV shows, and if you don't watch the TV shows, everything circles back to where they last were in the movies every time anyway. Yes. Like in the Captain America situation, you see Captain America give Sam the shield.
Yeah.
There's a whole series that happens where he doesn't have the shield, and then it comes back to him being Captain America. If you just watch Endgame, do you watch the next Captain America movie?
You have not
no time.
You didn't miss nothing.
Right. If you heard it was Heisem, and then you watch the next episode, it's still gonna be Heisem. There's a whole side quest that I get to inform y'all about every Monday.
And like every time you say a word, I like bananas. There's a banana. There is a banana alliance. They just said it. Those potassium loving motherfuckers. Like
I hate potassium.
I hate potassium. Why is it a K? It should be a P. It makes no sense. Get him out.
He's biting into a banana.
Straight through the peel.
Yeah, that's I love Felicia and Izzy being like Suri's anger translators. Yeah. It's a fantastic visual because that's what's happening. So after that conversation, it ends on Heisem. Heisem's the plan. Yesterday, Sunday, there was no shenanigans. Mm-hmm. There was no shenanigans, no change in the name. It was Heisem all day. Today, I got very concerned because Jag goes and talks to Jared and says, let's go talk to Miss Felicia about an hour before and see if we can get Red up there. And Jared's like, let's do it. Now, when I was watching, I tuned in. Jag goes to have a conversation with Miss Felicia, and she like attacks him. She's like, who the fuck you working with, Jag? He's like, y'all, like, and Jag is wearing like a chicken suit. I don't really know why. I missed that part, but he's wearing a chicken suit now. There's some kind of
that might have been part of winning the veto.
Yeah, probably. And so she's like, who you working with? And he's like, the 7. The 7 is the only one I trust. The 7, there's a 7-person alliance. That's the Savage 7. And that was created yesterday. It was talked about before, but it was created yesterday. And it's right. Matt Blue and Jag, Izzy, Felicia, Suri, Jared. Mm-hmm. Savage 7. And he's like, the Savage 7's all I got left. I don't got nothing else, Felicia. And she's like, all right, I saw Blue talking to Cameron and Red a minute ago. What the fuck was that about? She's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm gonna talk to her ass next.
Like, being friendly.
Correct. She's like, I'm gonna talk to her ass next. I'm gonna figure out what the fuck's going on because I don't like none of this shit. Y'all just running around.
Like now you can't talk to anybody in the house ever.
You can, but you gotta be prepared for Felicia to ask you about it.
Like, who you working with?
You working with us? What you doing?
How dare you go to the bathroom?
Yeah. What's going on
over there?
You
hesitate. Over there? So we get that. That was fun. It is in the being Heisem. Heisem, the veto was used today. Heisem does go on the block.
But he still
Unfortunately,
doesn't feel.
unfortunately, they did not bring the feeds up for 3 hours, so that a lot of the fallout we didn't see.
Oh
When
no.
the feeds came back, I saw him apologize to Sari. Like he's in the kitchen and he says to Sari, I apologize if I ever made you feel less than or your voice wasn't being heard or anything like that. I'm committed to the professors and I want to work with the professors.
So it got out what he was saying, what he told America then.
Well, I'm sure what happened was he goes up, he's confused. I know that he had a conversation about them going for Matt as a replacement versus someone else. He wanted Matt to be the replacement because he said the words, why shoot for a knight if you could shoot for the king? He said that to Izzy when Felicia said that she wasn't putting up Matt. And he said that to conversation to Izzy because he didn't like the fact that she wasn't going to put up Matt like what he wanted. So she was going to use that line in her evictions, in her POV speech. So I know that was probably iterated to him. So then he has the conversation. I'm sure he's shocked. I'm sure he has conversations that we don't see. Stuff like that, right? Yeah. I'm sure those are all things we're going to find out. So we don't know what happened. I know that he comes on there. I know he says that. The next thing I saw right before we jumped on, I saw Izzy interrogating America and Corey outside. And she was like, did you guys lie to me? And they're like, no. And then because one thing that they had said was that Heisem had come to Corey and said, I want to do a new group with people that are like smart. She said to America, people that were cunning. Like he had like different reasons why he wanted to work with these other people. He's just trying to like solidify his space, his place in the game. And so they're like, he's like, that conversation did happen. It is going on. So I know that those things were discussed.
I'm surprised that, well, obviously, like you said, stuff got revealed, but like Jag going for him makes sense. Like in his narrative of him being safe, Jag picking him makes sense. But something must have tipped him off that he was not safe for him to start going on like a,
No, I don't think that. I think that after he goes up, he comes and asks what happened, why, and I think that Sari and Izzy and Felicia tell him about himself.
Yeah.
But why? But that's my question. Why would he even go to them and say what happened? It makes sense that Jag would pick him after everything.
No. Jag. Oh no. Oh, okay. Yes. The Jag doesn't choose who his replacement is. Felicia does.
The HoH.
The HoH does.
HoH. Okay, that's why I'm like, why would he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the HoH has to renominate somebody to take that spot.
All right.
So yeah, that's right, because the veto wasn't used last week. So the way the veto works is that whoever the veto holder is gets to take someone down. That person they take down is safe, and the veto holders is safe.
Now I'm with you. Now it makes sense. Why he's all of a sudden like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And so which is why he thought he was so safe. Also, was he knew that in his heart of hearts that there was no way Felicia would ever put him up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then she does.
She does.
Right. And so he goes. Now, thing that I'm looking for the next few days is, does it change? Is Heisem so contrite? And does he change his stripes enough that they say, like we said all episode, Cameron is not a pawn, he's a backup option.
He's an alternative, right?
They're worried about Red.
Keeps his mouth shut and goes with the flow.
Correct.
He should be fine.
Is there a chance that they have a conversation with Heisem, they clear the air, Heisem repents, he apologizes, then he like the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, listens, is a caring person to them, really brings them back in, explains how he is a great shield for them, He'll continue to try to win for the alliance. He's here for the alliance. Yada yada yada.
Here's
because Izzy hates Cameron.
Yeah, I don't even.
The thing is
really give enough airtime to explore.
I know she hates him.
Yeah,
but once you take that shot, like that trust is broken.
Yeah, he's not going to work with them. He's not going to believe them. And for him, who does he have left in the house? Like everyone is ready for him to go.
I think you just hit the nail on the head, though. Is that they're not going to trust him. He's not going to trust them. He's not going to believe them. But who else does he have? Mm-hmm. And do they talk themselves into saying, if he stays, who else does he have? We know Cameron's with Red. Mm-hmm. We know that. Yeah. Also, we know that the middlemen are a thing that we're worried about.
Thing. But then you worry about he already wants to work with other people. Well, what's to stop him from going to the middlemen?
Or bringing them together because it doesn't exist currently.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. They're going to speak it into existence. They're going to go, you know what? You're right. We could do this. We already think it works.
Who knows what happens here? So that's what we're going to be watching for. Hisam's probably going out the door, but I'm going to be looking for that. Another thing that I need to talk about that's been happening is this Blue Jared showmance.
Yeah.
So Blue and Jared have been getting closer and closer. Jared has become really hated on the internet.
Why?
Because of Jared's viewpoints on women and
what did he say?
I'll tell you. So Friday night, I was chilling. No, it was raining here. It was raining here in Las Vegas, and so I didn't have any of my normal Friday night activities, which was like go to the bar, play some kickball, hang out with my friends. Mm-hmm. So I was sitting here watching some TV. So I watched the feed, turn on the feeds. Jared was having a conversation with Izzy about if he, and I'm going to use some vulgar language, but it is what it is. If he fucked a girl in the club, he could never date her. Because if she's just down to fuck in the club, that's not the kind of girl he wants to be. And that was, Izzy's like, well, why are you judging her
for something
like
that
you guys both are consenting adults? Like, if you don't know, you're not going to give this person a chance. That's not someone I would want to be with, Izzy. Like, that's my preference. That's my preference. Okay, my preference wouldn't be to be with someone like that. Now, Jared's having this conversation.
Club. Like,
Jared's having this conversation with Izzy, Blue, and Jag. He's talking. He's been flirting. He's been talking to Blue. Mm-hmm. So he says that. So Izzy says, here's the scenario. Here's the scenario. You hook up with this girl in the club, right? A few days later, she's at your boy's house, and y'all are just chatting because you didn't know that your boy knew her, and now you guys are there. You guys are getting along. Now, Izzy, you're changing the scenario. You're changing the scenario. I know that if I fucked her in the club, I'm never going to see her again.
Yeah, you're not trying to get the number.
Really, that scenario could happen if you don't know.
Thank you, Chantae. Izzy's like, no, Jared, I'm not changing. Like, I'm saying if you run into her, you're not getting it. You're not getting it, Izzy. It's not going to happen. That's not how that works. And Blue's like, you're not even listening to her. He's like, I'm telling you, it's not. I'm 25 years old. You don't think I thought about this already? Izzy says,
he's got so much life experience.
Izzy says, well, I feel like I did a lot of my own maturing between the ages of like 28 and 33. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I'm 25. I figured this out already. And this is not a person I would want to be with. In addition to that conversation, because he then lays in the hammock with Blue after that, because he's like, all right, I guess we're not going to just like be able to get to the bottom of that.
I don't know how after that conversation, Blue's just like, oh.
She's still laying there. The last 4 days, Jared's been trying to ask Blue about her body count. And she's like, that is none of your business. It is, I'm judging you from the person I met when we got here. Mm-hmm. So anything that happened before me doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And it should not matter to you. He's like, well, it doesn't, but like if Like, I just can't believe you're not gonna tell me.
Well, I'd be like, motherfucker, you fucking
in the club.
Let's have this conversation. Talk about body counts. Like, are you?
Well, it gets better because Blue's like, why does it matter? And then he's like, well, it doesn't, but like, I just like want to know. She's like, well, you obviously are gonna judge me based on like whatever the number is, whether it's too high, too low. So it doesn't like really make sense for me to like even bring this up. No, I mean, I'm not going to judge you, but it is kind of telling that you won't tell me.
So you're
judging me by not knowing.
Did he reveal his body count?
He did not. He said she did because she never asked. And she said, he said, if you ask me, I'll tell you. She's like, I don't care. I don't want to know, but obviously you care about this. And then she says, she's laying there with him, and he's like, well, this is what got my heart racing. He says, well, I have my own secret that I can't tell you to the end of the game. And I'm like, oh my God. You stupid Tommy. Like,
5-year-olds. Like,
and she's like,
you don't have a fully formed brain yet. Your brain
and she's like, is the secret like gonna affect you in the game? And he's like, well, yeah. I mean, it probably will.
So now she knows that you have something that's affecting.
And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I'm not gonna tell you the secret. And then
why did you bring it up?
Upstairs, I forgot about this part. Upstairs, Cerie's like, Izzy's like, we gotta worry about Blue. Cerie's like, I'm not worried about that girl. I'm that boy's mama, and he ain't gonna do shit against me. So I'm not worried about that little girl getting into shit. She did have the conversation with Felicia, and Felicia's like, Blue's over there trying to get Jared to kiss her, and Cerie's like, she probably has a problem because he ain't gonna kiss that girl, not on no national TV. Now, mind you, Cerie knows in her heart of hearts that she don't care what Jared has said. I'll talk about that in a minute. She says he's not gonna kiss that girl, and then Felicia's like, well, she's just a hoe anyway for just wanting to try to get. And like I said, Felicia got words for everybody. And it's like, all right, Miss Felicia. See, like, we all have, well, the three of us have family members that we know that do stuff like Miss Felicia.
Yep.
So we all just shake our head and say, go somewhere, Miss Felicia. Like, this is not
go ahead.
Go ahead. Like, so I know the internet wasn't as mad, but like, I know that we had an OMG from BB in here in the chat. It's no one's listening to Miss Felicia on that, BB. Nobody cares.
Nope.
She can say whatever. She's 60-something years old. Ain't nobody care what she say about Blue being a hoe. Nobody believes it. Nobody's subscribing to that. That's she over there. Like that's how old black people talk sometimes. It is what it is, and that's over there.
Out here in these streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that nasty little girl out there just trying to get a kiss.
Yeah.
None of that.
But Jared's the one in the hammock trying to talk about, hey man, I wouldn't do nothing out here, but if I had an HoH room, you gonna come up to the HoH room. Then Blue says
she need to walk away.
Yeah, Jared's a problem. But Blue then says, don't you have like someone at home? And he's like, we kind of broke up right before the show came on, right before the show happened. There was another day where Cerie was like, what? Cerie said to Jared, how's Ken's gonna feel about all this? And he's like, I'll talk to her about it when we get back. And she's like, all right. Yesterday, after all these conversations, Cerie had a conversation with Jared and said, you're not crossing any lines, are you? And he's like, nah, nothing like physical. And then she said, nothing physical. And he's like, nah. And she said, you are not going to embarrass me on national television. She literally said this. You're not going to embarrass me on national television. Out here doing whatever you're going to be doing out here. Whatever you're going to be doing. And then he's like, should I end it? She's like, look, you can do whatever you want. You're 25 years old. You can do whatever you want. But this is not smart. You need to keep your eye on the prize, boy. You need to be focused on what's going on.
But that's the thing. Right. His eye on the prize is probably getting on the challenge.
No. The eye on the prize is I'm here with my mama and we gotta win. That's the eye. Like CJ, right. Even if you had other plans, if your mom's there and she said we're doing this, what are you doing?
I'm telling her to shut up because she's probably gonna blow up my game. But that's fine.
But if you're the problem, all right. If you're the problem.
You ain't gonna say shut up. Yeah, right.
You ain't gonna say shut up to your mama. You know
whatever's nearby and be like, "What you say, boy?"
Yeah, exactly. So Cerie's like, keep your eye on the prize. So he says, all right. So he goes back to Blue, and he says to Blue, "Hey, so,
my mama said.
No, he says, I think I'm ready to tell you that secret right now." And then she says, okay, what is it? He's like, so the only secret I have is, and everybody, is clutching their pearls. He says, the girl that I said was my ex is watching my dog right now and doing my socials. Because she's not exactly an ex. But she has access to my social media account, and she has my dog. She sees my dog while I'm in the house. And that's the only secret I have. And Blue says, so same. Dude I was seeing before is doing my socials. and
what? And
then they're like, oh, so they said, so we should probably end this. Should probably stop with the flirtations. We can still be cool. But like, Jared says to her, I was falling for you. I'm over here. I was falling for you. And then she's like, okay, well, we got maybe something after. We'll see what's up. And he's like, yeah. So Blue and Jared are off romantically for the moment. I don't know what happens if they win an HoH or if Cirie goes home. But Cirie basically grabbed a boy by the ear and pulled him into a room and said, boy, get your ass in here. Like, let me.
That's not, because once these cameras turn off.
And now
cameras turn off.
Jared has just been, he is a problem. He needs to have a conversation with some other adult men in his life. Yeah. Because these conversations he's having are not good. I am so happy his mother's there.
It's very young. It's very young. Like you're saying, I'm like, young. That's what young dudes say. That's what young dudes think because they're stupid.
Yes, dumb. No, one young dude is kind of smart. Corey. There is a showman's not happening
with Corey.
People are saying they think there might be a showman's between America and Corey. They keep asking. They spend a lot of time together.
He's punching up. He's trying to get someone out of his league.
They spend a lot of time together. America realizes that everyone's talking about them as a showman, so America is leaning in this way. She's telling people that she would only have a showman for Corey inside the house, but it would never work on the outside. But it's something to do inside. She's willing to do it, hanging out, because she's trying to show that she doesn't care that much about Corey.
Right.
Because she's trying to show that. Jared asked Corey earlier today on the Real, like, would you be with her? He said, she's 27, I'm 21. It's not going to really work. The age difference is too much at this point in our lives. So that's not really something that I would be able to entertain in like a real world fashion, but I do like spending time with her and I like hanging out. So that's something we should be watching for.
That also wasn't a no.
That's true.
I mean, America's a very cute girl. She's smart. Yeah. They connect intellectually. Corey is I was very high on Corey pre game, and I've maintained my being high on him because he's very smart. And so for him to say 27 to 21, I'm still very much in college doing college stuff.
She got like correct and shit.
I'm not ready for that. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. It's smart. He ain't saying over here. He told Jared, man, you need to watch some of the stuff you're saying.
Yeah.
Because as B Bean said here in the chat, that's some Andrew Tate type shit that's going on here, and that dude is no good. Andrew Tate says that the body count is different for men versus women. Andrew Tate
asking if you had a player draft. BB, you've been slacking on your pimping
BB, where you been, baby? We've been in the Cavs preview. We did a player draft and everything.
Oh
we
my
did a
God.
player draft and everything, BB. Next time you got to make sure we're here for the beginning. I know you ride with us, BB, but you got to be there for the Cavs preview. Check out that episode. We have it on the channel. It's been great. Mm-hmm. It's been great. That's everything's been going on in the house. Heisem should be going home. The targets are set up for next week to probably be Cameron and Red for real. Mm-hmm. Jag and Blue are in the 7.
No charm here. Something's going on.
Well, Corey and America are very much aware. Now, Corey, last thing, I almost forgot about this. Game-wise, Corey's extremely concerned because he told America that Suri and Izzy are very obviously running the game, but don't say nothing. And America's agreed with him because they are very obviously running the game.
Right.
Yep.
America has started to try to get a coalition, so it's getting around that America knows that they're running the game.
Oh, man.
So America's
Corey is still young.
Well, no, it's not Corey. It's not Corey.
It's America.
It's America.
Opening his mouth and saying anything.
But him and America are they're tight.
Right.
Like that's his number. That's his number one. He wants to get to the final 3 with her and Jarrett, and then cut Jarrett. So he's like working with her, and she's very smart for the game. She's very smart for the game. So she just doesn't know. Like she doesn't realize how entrenched they are.
How entrenched, yeah.
And like having these conversations
to a gunfight.
Well, none of them also know that there's a secret agent in there. There's an undercover agent the entire time. So when the 3 of them are having a conversation with Jarrett, they don't know that Jarrett is wearing a wire the whole time.
True.
And that's what keeps happening. Jarrett's wearing a wire. He's there. CJ is either really deep in thought, or he fell asleep, or his thing.
No, unfortunately, as you can see, I'm not at home. I'm doing work travel, and work is calling right now.
Oh, okay. So let's get up out of here. That's it. We'll see what happens. Join us on Thursday or Friday. You'll see the thing on subscribe so you know when we're going to be live. Yeah. And let's see what happens, man. Thank you for joining us. Coming to you from outside the Big Brother house. Good night.
Night. Bye. Night from